When one thinks of the Oak Stud in Cambridge, New Zealand, images come to mind of dappled oak tree-lined drives, spectacular facilities second to none in the Southern Hemisphere, lush, clean green pastures, a world-class farm to breed and grow equine champions of the future. And in keeping with the Oaks tradition of superstar stallions, we proudly introduce Bachelor Duke. Bachelor Duke, trained by James Trotter, was bred by Early Stud in Ireland. The Oak Stud General Manager Rick Williams emphasises that the classic winning son of Miss Waki, Bachelor Duke, is an attractive stallion prospect for the Southern Hemisphere.
But he did win the Irish 2000 Guineas, and they're rare horses to find, and the fact that he beat Azamore and Grey Swallow, and Azamore won his next two Group 1s and Grey Swallow won the Irish Derby. The format of that race has been exceptional. He did all his racing on firm or fast tracks.
Bachelor Duke as a 2-year-old finished third in his maiden race on debut. He then went straight into group company for his second ever start and finished an exceptionally meritorious third in the Group 3 Somerville Tattersall Stakes at Newmarket. Bachelor Duke's only other juvenile outing resulted in an unlucky fourth in the Group 1 Dewhurst Stakes at Newmarket, a race in which he certainly would have run second or even won, but for being struck over the head twice by rival jockeys when trying to take a narrow gap 2 furlongs out. Bachelor Duke's 3-year-old campaign commenced with a 7th placing on a wet track in the 2000 Guineas at Newmarket, after being in the first few until the 50-metre mark. With a fast track rating, Bachelor Duke then went on to take out the Group 1 Irish 2000 Guineas at the Curragh. This win was the climax of his career, as Bachelor Duke beat an extremely high-class field, including subsequent Group 1 winners Grey Swallow and Azamore.
They're followed by Newton. Then comes Azamore on the inside, being followed by Grey Swallow. Between that pair is Bachelor's Duke. Towards the outside, Amarula Ridge, and just the back marker is Hayburn Street. But they're racing on now towards the Elbow. Grand Reward and Jamie Spencer on the inside. Leitrim House and Steve Brown almost alongside. They're being followed by Azamore on the inside of Newton and Grey Swallow. And then comes Amarula Ridge, Bachelor's Duke and Hayburn Street. Heading on up now just outside the halfway point, and still disputing the lead, Grand Reward, just slightly headed on the outside by Leitrim House, little between them, Grey Swallow, Newton, and on the inside Azamore. They're being followed by Amarula Ridge, Bachelor's Duke, and then comes Hayburn Street and Grand Reward. Over on the far side, Leitrim House, the near side. These are in front of Grey Swallow, who moves into third. They're followed by Azamore, racing down now with a furlong and a half to go. Leitrim House in the centre of the track, Grand Reward the rail, Grey Swallow, Azamore looking for the split between them. Almost 4 in line now, and Bachelor's Duke joining in the outside. It's Azamore and Leitrim House, and here comes Bachelor's Duke on the outside. They're inside the last 150 yards. Azamore, Bachelor's Duke on the near side for Seb Saunders. Bachelor's Duke beats Azamore, Grey Swallow and Leitrim House in the Boyle Sports 2000 Guineas.
The immediate race results of the beaten pair Azamore and Grey Swallow have once again emphasised the quality of the form from the 2004 Irish 2000 Guineas. Azamore won both the Group 1 James Palace Stakes and the Group 1 Irish Championship Stakes at his next 2 starts. Grey Swallow won the Group 1 Irish Derby at his next start. The form of the beaten pair has been further enhanced in the 2005 European racing season, when Grey Swallow won the Tattersall's Gold Cup Group 1 at his seasonal debut, defeating Bago, the 2004 champion European 3-year-old colt, who won the 2004 Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Also in 2005, Azamore won the Group 1 Prince of Wales Stakes at Royal Ascot, beating the Danehill horse Ace by 1.5 lengths, with Australian champion Elfstrom a further 6 lengths back in 3rd place. Bachelor Duke's career finished in his next race after starting favourite, by finishing a disappointing 7th to Azamore in the St James Palace Stakes. He was found to have a blood disorder. Following a short spell, Bachelor Duke was due to return in the Group 1 Queen Elizabeth Stakes at Newmarket, but was scratched the night before the race after sustaining a hind leg injury. Racing is full of stories about what might have been, but it's interesting to note that the two horses he defeated in the Irish 2000 Guineas finished the season with time form ratings of 1:28 for Azamore and 1:27 for Grey Swallow. Bachelor Duke was given a competitive rating of 1:22. John Magnier, the owner of Coolmore Stud, has stated on several occasions that "We are firm believers that the raw ability of a horse displayed at his best represents his potential as a sire." Bachelor Duke was retired to stud as a 4-year-old after being purchased by the partnership of Ballylynch Stud in Ireland and the Oak Stud in New Zealand. He's just completed his first season at stud in Ireland. One thing that Rick Williams emphasises strongly is Bachelor Duke's truly international pedigree. This is sure to create a demand for both his northern and southern hemisphere progeny on a universal platform. His sire, Milwaukee, himself a Group 1 winner in France, was put down last year, only after becoming one of the most prominent sons of the great Mr. Prospector to stand at stud in the world. Milwaukee was the sire of almost 100 stakes winners. Black Tie Affair, Christina, Marvellous Crown, Missile, Urban Sea, Waukee River. Milwaukee was an outstanding broodmare sire, with his daughters having produced more than 110 stakes winners thus far, including outstanding Group 1 winners. On Bachelor Duke's female side, his dam, the Seattle Slew mare Gossamer, notably has also produced the stakes winner Translucid. Bachelor Duke's second dam, Lizaline, is a full sister in blood to Nureyev, himself a 3 parts brother to world champion sire Sadler's Wells, and another top sire, Fairy King, as well as the promising El Condor Pasa. This family is the greatest sire-producing family in the world. Sadler's Wells. Nureyev. Fairy King. Tate Gallery. Thatch. Numerous. Geiger Counter. Perugino. Yates. And finally, Bachelor Duke. And so, that makes a total of 627 stakes winners and an outstanding final figure of 141 Group 1 winners. The Oaks has a long-term commitment to the breeder, supporting the industry with world-class bloodlines in both stallions and broodmares.
We've believed all along that if we want to progress this farm, we've got to take equity in stallions, and if we get the successful one, then the farm can grow on the back of a successful stallion.
Bachelor Duke, a classic Group 1 winner.
Bachelor Duke beats Azamore, Great Swallow and Leitrim House in the Boyle Sports 2000 Guineas.
Bachelor Duke, from the world's greatest sire-producing family of Sadler's Wells, Nureyev and Fairy King. An extremely exciting stallion prospect. Bachelor Duke has it all. Looks, pedigree and performance. Bachelor Duke is standing at the Oaks in Cambridge, New Zealand.